welcome to Project Chronicles. This will be like the third or maybe first video I've filmed for this channel, and all the other projects are still in progress, so I haven't actually got them completed, edited, and uploaded. This is going to be a fast one. I'm not going to bother editing. I'm just going to straight upload. And what it is I've got a tankless hot water heater. The problem is I have very jippy or hard water, and the particulates will clog my valves, my showers, and it's gotten to the point that I'm cleaning out screens quite often, and even with that, the hot water in my kitchen is just a dribble. So I've got a hot water filter here. Now what I should do is install a water softening system to remove all that drip and everything beforehand, because it's really bad for my tankless hot water heater. But for right now, I can't afford that, so I'm going with the cheaper option of about 150 bucks. So I've went ahead. This was my hot water inlet. It came right up here to a T. I've cut that T out. I'm going to route that line over here to the inlet on the filter. And then on the other side of the filter, I'll come out and connect it to the rest of the wiring. Let's go over to my table and I'll show you how I'm planning to do that. Alrighty, so this is what I've got here. The filter is going to sit between here with ball valves here. I'm going to have a bypass running around it, so if the filter breaks or I have to uninstall it or something, I've got a way for it to still have water to the house. Just turn those off and turn that one on. The problem is I was stupid and cut this one too short. So I'm going to have to cut this, remove these rings, extend it, and then get that going. One of the other problems I have are I did not properly count the number of elbows that I needed, or rings. Luckily, I was able to find an extra bag of rings I had from an old project, and I salvaged a whole bunch of old 90 degrees out of a salvage project I did a while ago. And so we'll show you how to reclaim PEX fittings. Firstly, when I'm salvaging, I just kind of go up and cut them off with plenty to spare, just so I can get them in and out quickly. But when you're actually salvaging, you need to cut them right down to the point where the actual fitting starts. So you clip it off to where you can see it, and then kind of adjust from there.
Can I say something?
No.
Aww.
And that is my little girl wanting to have fun. So crimping it in there so it's just past the edge of that pipe. Then you are going to take your PEX crimp remover tool. I've got it set for 1/2 inch currently. You put the anvil on the inside, and if it's not short, or it's not short enough that cutting blade reaches to the end of the ring, you need to trim the pipe again. And as it is, you squeeze, and hopefully what should happen is it cut through. This one, it did not. So I'm going to have to basically score it, and each time I do a partial cut, it expands that ring. You do it about 8 times, and the ring gets loose enough that you can take the fitting off. So now, to do that to both ends of all 3 of these. Let's see if I can get a clean cut for you. No, so I'm going to do these and then we'll come back. Alrighty, here's one I got to actually cut cleanly on that first one. And once you get that to happen, you take it, go to the other side, and make another crimp. This one will not cut, but what it will do is kind of pry it out from around the plastic, so it's easy, theoretically easy to get off. Once you do get it off, you still are left with the pecs. The pecs has been crimped and will not easily come off. So that's when you take this and you still have to do a whole bunch of just kind of squish cut marks around it. And each time you do that, it'll get bigger and bigger because it's stretching the plastic, and then you can just pull it off. But you see how I just scored those marks and expanded it so it came off. My tripod I am working with is the box that the water filter came in on, so forgive the framing difficulties. Reclaiming these things is a little bit time consuming, and if you're only doing one or two, it might not be worth it, but these things are about $3 to $4 a piece, and when I can get them for free from an old house and reuse them, it's easily worth my time. So I've got 2 more left. And sometimes you have one of these that you've cut a bunch and it's just being stubborn. You just got to keep working at it.
That's right. I hope you watched this video. My dad is so cool.
Thank you, sweetie.
Just telling everybody if they watch this video, they should probably watch it 100 times after. Or twice.
Jessica. Alrighty. Before I cut that, I'm actually going to measure how big I need this time. And here's the problem when your hardware store does not carry the same brand of everything. I have 1/2 inch PEX tubing. 1/2 inch is hard to mess up. Here I've got some of the same stuff. I think all I've got's the same brand. This might be slightly different. And here I have a 1/2 inch PEX tubing to 3/4 inch National Pipe Thread adapter. Alright, so apparently there are 2 types of PEX. There is a PEX type A and a PEX type B. All my life I have used PEX type B. I did not know there was any other kind of PEX. It's the kind we all know, the plastic tubing with the metal crimp rings that makes everything tight. PEX type A apparently has a plastic sleeve that goes over it at the joins. There is a tool you stick into the tube and expand out, and it expands the tube. You put it over the fixture and it shrinks back down. That fixture was apparently PEX type A, which is why it did not fit in a unstretched PEX type B. So yeah, I had to go to the hardware store again. Oddly, my wife does not want me to leave the house without any water turned on. So here I've got the bypass expanded, and I am going to crimp on some rings. I found it easier when you're doing this, instead of having a free sliding ring to try and line up with the joint while you're trying to awkwardly manage all parts and crimp it at the same time. You get it into about the right spot and you squeeze it really hard. That will set it just enough it's harder to slide. Makes it a lot easier. So here's the setup it's going to be. It needs to be twisted some. There we go. So right now, since I need to get the right connectors at the hardware store, I'm just going to run it off the bypass. What I'm going to need to do is to create a pipe here to here, because this is the hot water out from my water heater. It will come, it will go through the bypass. Now this, I'll have a 90-degree elbow down here to a 90-degree elbow, and it will come back up to a T right here to my hot water to the rest of the house and to the sink right here. Alrighty, so one trip to the hardware store later, I have a standard adapters. Alright, now I need to bend this a little bit, and to do that, it's a lot easier if it's hot. So I'm going to start the hot water going, and it will work through the bypass, heat up these pipes, and let me bend it a bit easier. So, make sure that valve is closed. And I should probably tighten up that before I turn on the water. And we've got a steady leak coming from somewhere. Coming from right there. And I'm guessing that's some sort of bleed screw. I hadn't messed with it. Apparently they didn't tighten it up. So we grab the flat tip. I don't feel any water. That wasn't already there. So now, all we have to do, if we wish to bypass the filter or change the filter or something, is to turn this off, and turn that one on. That way the water will then bypass the filter and we don't have to worry about it. In normal operation, that one is off and these two are on. That works. When it comes time that we need to flush the filter, we keep everything the same and simply creates a sort of a backflash with more energy than I expected. Sweet. Hey folks, thanks for watching. It was a lot of fun finally get that project done and to actually video a project from start to finish. I just finished the editing, except for this part, and I learned a lot doing it. I hope in my future videos that I will cut down a bit on the talking, make the flow be smoother, and I'm just looking forward to learning a lot with video editing, how to actually film properly, and hopefully I'll get better and better. Leave any comments you might have in the suggestions you might have in the comments below. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.